Today, we're going to examine the events leading to the crash of a twin-engine Cessna 421C on Saturday, August 31st near Portland, Oregon. The aircraft crashed shortly after takeoff from the Portland Troutdale Airport and tragically claimed the lives of both people aboard the aircraft and one person on the ground. The aircraft crashed into power lines, causing a small brush fire, and then into a townhome community where several homes were destroyed by the fire. Let's examine what we know about this accident and some potential contributing factors. The aircraft was a 1977 Cessna 421C registered to an LLC in Delaware. We do not have information on the pilot or the other person aboard, so we do not know the pilot's experience, ratings, or how familiar or current he or she was with the Cessna 421C. The weather on Saturday, August 31st was VFR, 10 miles visibility and clear skies, and the winds were variable at 3 knots. It is likely that weather was not a contributing factor in this accident. We also do not know if this aircraft was operating under Part 91 or Part 135. The pilot mentioned a test flight with the stated intention to fly one lap around the pattern first, so it does not appear that the plane was operating under Part 135. According to the Air Safety Network, the planned destination was St. George Regional Airport in Utah, but we do not know if a flight plan was filed for this destination. And from FlightAware and ADSB Exchange, it appears that the aircraft last flew from Aurora State Airport, 24 miles to the southwest, to the Troutdale Airport on February 13th. This is over 6 months prior to the accident flight. Based on several comments observed on YouTube and other sources, it appears that the aircraft was in Troutdale for maintenance. The NTSB will be able to determine why the aircraft was in Troutdale for over 6 months and the nature of any maintenance performed, if any. The NTSB will likely focus on communications between the accident aircraft and the Troutdale Tower. These communications point to several factors that may have contributed to this accident. Let's listen to the audio before we determine what it tells us. The audio recording only includes recorded communications and not several minutes where no transmissions were made.
Calling Troutdale Garage, you're going to have to say that again, please. Sir, your transmission is still broken and unreadable. I can hear you clear, but you're cutting out. Say again, please.
Troutdale Tower, this is November 421 Golf Papa at A7.
November 421 Golf Papa, be advised, frequency is still cutting out, sir. Say direction of flight.
Is this clear now? 421 Golf Papa.
It's coming in clear, sir, but it's like, I don't know if you're holding down the button long enough or it's something with your radio or what, but say direction of flight.
We'd like to do one lap around the pattern first. 421 Golf Papa.
November 421 Golf Papa, roger. Runway 25, clear for takeoff. Left closed traffic approved.
Thank you. Cleared for 25, 421 Golf Papa, closed traffic approved.
All right. November 421 Golf Papa, say intentions.
We're going to take off to the south if we can, 421 Golf Papa.
Roger that. I thought you said you're going to do one lap in a pattern.
Yeah, we'll finish. Go around one more time. We'll go around.
Sir, you haven't gone around any time. Say intentions. Your altitude indicates 1,700. You're well above the VFR altitude restrictions for the Troutdale area. I need you to descend, maintain at or below 1,200 now.
Going down to 1,200, 421 Golf Papa. We'll stay in the pattern.
November 421 Golf Bravo, say intentions, sir. Are you remaining in the pattern or not?
412 Golf is having some handling problems. This is a test flight. I can't get this thing.
All right, November 421 Golf Bravo. Traffic ahead and to your left, Cessna northbound 1,100. Catch all aircraft on ground standby. Do not call Troutdale Tower. All right, November 421 Golf Bravo. Can you land runway 7?
We're going to try, not sure.
Runway 7, clear to land. November 421 Golf Bravo. Runway 7, clear to land. All runways clear to land.
Number 3 Hotel. That aircraft went down about 2 miles southwest of the field.
Attention all aircraft, just stand by. All aircraft calling Troutdale ground. This is going to be a minute. I've just got an airplane crash. I got a lot to handle. I'm here by myself. Suggest you go into the FBO and take about a half an hour break or so.
This audio recording points to several areas where the NTSB might focus their investigation. The Troutdale Tower controller stated that he was the only controller in the tower. You can hear that he was also controlling aircraft on the ground control frequency by transmitting simultaneously on both tower and ground. The communications from the aircraft appear to be cutting out at the end of several transmissions, and there are several discussions about this between the tower and the pilot. However, the audio is clear most of the time, and there were no unintelligible communications throughout the recording. The aircraft was cleared to take off from runway 25 at Troutdale from taxiway Alpha 7. This gave the pilot almost 5,000 feet of runway remaining, more than enough to safely take off. The pilot stated his intention was to do one lap around the pattern first. The pilot was cleared for left closed traffic in the pattern, and the pilot acknowledged the takeoff clearance by saying, "Loud and clear for 25. There are several instances of the pilot using non-standard terminology throughout the communications, which may point to the pilot's proficiency level. 3 minutes and 12 seconds after receiving the takeoff clearance, the tower asked the aircraft to say intentions because the aircraft had climbed to 1,700 feet on what appears to be a left downwind for runway 25. This is well above the 1,039-foot traffic pattern altitude and up against the floor of the Class C airspace for the Portland International Airport, which is located 9 miles to the west. The pilot may have been distracted by a developing problem with the aircraft, but he appears to calmly respond to the controller by saying he was going down to 1,200 and staying in the pattern. The problems in the cockpit become evident about 1 minute later, which is less than 5 minutes after the takeoff clearance was issued. The tower asked the pilot again what his intentions are and whether he was remaining in the pattern or not. At this point, the pilot acknowledges that he is having handling problems, that this is a test flight, and then sounds as if he's struggling with the aircraft. The tower controller responds with a traffic call, and about 50 seconds later asks the pilot if he can land on runway 7. At this point, the aircraft appears to be on a left downwind for runway 7. The response comes from a female voice this time. "We're going to try, not sure." We do not know to what extent this person was involved in piloting the aircraft. The tower controller clears the aircraft to land on all runways and directs other aircraft to stand by. There were no more transmissions from the aircraft before the impact. From YouTube video, we can see the landing gear extended as the aircraft impacts the power lines. This would make sense if they were attempting to land on runway 7. The wing impacts the power lines, severing off a portion of the left wing and igniting a fire in the wing, and then the aircraft impacts the townhomes. So what will the NTSB likely look at in its investigation? The ADSB Exchange ground track shows the aircraft descending from 1,700 feet to 1,400 feet and then up to 1,600 feet as they appear to be flying to a left downwind for runway 7. The aircraft begins a descent from 1,500 feet at 155 knots, and as the aircraft is descending through 500 feet, the aircraft speed increases to 193 knots. It appears at no time did the airspeed decay below 147 knots after it had climbed to 1,500 feet. The POH mentions the single-engine airspeeds, which are well below the airspeed this aircraft was flying. Given these speed limitations, it does not appear the aircraft was struggling with a power loss on one or both engines. The pilot clearly stated he was having handling problems and his voice was stressed when he was communicating with the tower. The NTSB will probably focus their investigation in this area and carefully investigate the flight control system on the aircraft, including any recent maintenance performed that may have affected handling qualities. There is an airworthiness directive involving the elevator trim system on all twin Cessnas, which is intended to prevent jamming of the elevator trim tab. This may be another focus area for the NTSB. According to our research, the issue which led to the AD appears to have contributed to the loss of control in twin-engine Cessnas in the past. The Cessna 421 has a great reputation as a very nice aircraft to fly, but pilots we spoke with all agree that it is a complex aircraft that demands highly proficient and trained pilots, especially during an emergency. This pilot was clearly struggling with the aircraft, but we cannot tell if it was caused by the flight controls, flaps, or perhaps something else. The accident investigators are experts at finding clues from the aircraft wreckage and will comb through the recent history of the aircraft and the pilot to derive the probable causes of this tragic crash. It's important to base any conclusions on what caused this crash on the facts, and the NTSB will take the next 12 to 18 months to investigate all the facts and publish their findings. So what can we learn from this accident? First, it's important to complete a thorough pre-flight inspection and resolve any problems before departing, especially after maintenance has been performed. Second, FAR Part 91.407 requires a maintenance test flight without passengers after any maintenance that may have appreciably changed the flight control characteristics. Please refer to FAR Part 91.407 for the details. Third, pilots should strive to maintain a high level of proficiency in any aircraft you fly, especially in complex high-performance aircraft. And finally, become an active member in the Type Club for your aircraft and learn all you can and fly with an instructor or experienced pilot who's very familiar with your make and model aircraft. Thank you.